Welcome to How Preschool Teachers Do It.
This is Alison Kentos. I am an early childhood educator.
And this is Cindy Tarabush. I am an early childhood consultant.
This podcast is for parents and early childhood professionals.
Let our experience and research-based knowledge become your guide. Hello, our preschool peeps.
Hi, peeps.
Hey, you know what? I'm so excited at how many people are going to our website and logging into it to get access to like the blog and the videos that either are there by now or coming. So I'm super excited, and we're going to continue to add content to those areas. HowPreschoolTeachersDoIt.com. If you go and you log into the site, then you're going to get access to things that other people don't get. And we've been calling it a membership, but it's totally free. We're just doing it because we're just expanding the ways in which you can,
more a community rather than a membership, I suppose, right? Yeah, it's an online community.
Yeah, so we're going to start calling it that. We're going to start calling it the online community. Come join the online community. Yeah. Go to HowPreschoolTeachersDoIt.com and log in to our site. It tells you log in. If you're on a desktop or laptop, I believe it's in the upper right corner. If you're on a smartphone or tablet, I don't know where the login is, but it's there somewhere.
It's there somewhere. You just gotta find it.
Yeah, come join us. Yeah. For today's episode, we had fun coming up with this title of Parents, Guardians, Folks, and Kin. We did not write a song. I know it sounds like it. Doesn't it sound like an old 60s folk song?
Yeah.
Peter, Paul, and Mary or something come out with
Peter,
Parents,
Paul,
Guardians,
Mary,
Folks, and Kin.
Or like a country song that you kind of like did.
Oh, maybe.
But you're right, Peter, Paul, and Mary. Yeah.
Yes. Hi, Peter, Paul, and Mary. We really love you.
Hi.
Or Paul or whoever. Okay, so parents, guardians, folks, and kin. Why are we using those words? And it's because of the word parents, actually.
Yeah.
Twice in the past week, I came across situations having to do with the word parent, and I've come across them before, but it was coincidental that I came across a situation twice and then read an article about the use of the word parent. So it just sort of kept coming into my world. And when Allison and I were talking about episodes, I was like, that really resonates with me. Yeah. The use of the word parent on our early childhood forums, in our talk with children, in our directions to people, in our letters to them, in our handbooks, whatever it is, that it resonates so much with me. And I'll tell you why. Years ago already now, it's unbelievable, but it's like years ago. In 2010, I had a cousin who passed away very young. And she passed away very suddenly, very young, and left a husband and two preschoolers behind. Her children were very young, 2 years old and 4 years old when she died. Wow. Yeah, it was pretty terrible, especially for them. I mean, just a horrible, horrible situation back then. And they, in their early childhoods and likely beyond, contended with people asking them to give things to their mommy or their parents, plural, or, but especially their mommy. And I think that this is why it resonates with me, because as an early childhood person, I'm not sure that I was ever as hyper aware of the words that I used around who was with the children before my cousin died as I was after. All of a sudden, it made me very hyper aware that not every child has the mommy or the daddy or both.
Right.
And after Melissa died, I immediately started to change the names of things just because of that experience. For example, I was a director of a program. I was teaching a mommy and me class. I, at some point, realized it wasn't mommy, and we had started to play around with the name and go, it could be, grandparents were bringing them, babysitters were bringing them. And so I was especially motivated after Melissa's death to change the name of things like that program. It became Me and My Grown Up, or My Grown Up and Me, something like that.
I feel like that's the way it should be, because when you say mommy and me, then it even just alienates the fathers that are in the picture. Like, it's like it should just be
I had
Bring-
stay-at-home dads attend
Yeah,
it.
bring your child,
Bring
or
your child,
it could
whoever
be
you
your
are.
grandma that
Yeah,
wants, like,
I
why
had
does
them
it have to be
too.
so limiting? Yeah.
Why, I'm not, and yet in 2022, I was gonna say 21. In 2022, I cannot tell you how often in my role as a consultant, I see the word parent being used, parent letter, parent handbook, parent instruction, parent line to sign, parent, all the time. And it occurs to me that not every child is with their parent. There's an extraordinary number in this generation of grandparents raising their grandchildren.
Yes,
I've actually
yes.
done workshops for grandparents raising their grandchildren in school districts that have a lot of that. There are foster children who don't feel akin to these people. There are people being raised by aunts, uncles, family, friends, whoever.
Yeah. I think the reason why parent is still used, or it's usually like your parent guardian or whatever, is because there's not really many good words to use. Like, I switched to using families, like dear families, on
Yes.
everything. But then, like, when you sent me that article, I was like, oh, I shouldn't say that either, because some of these children aren't with their families,
Some
So
people are
then
not with someone they even consider to be
consider
I
a
also use
relative.
families.
Yeah,
Okay, in full
I know.
disclosure,
Yeah,
I went from parents to families. When
right.
I'm teaching a college class and my students refer to parents, I write back my comments with the word family. I don't,
Right,
I don't like correct their paper, but when I write feedback, I say what you wrote for the families.
yeah, but I'm not, like, after reading that article now, I'm not sure if that's the right word. I
I'm
feel
not
like it's
sure either.
better than parents, maybe, but it's not. It's not the right word either.
I'm not sure either. So what I did was I went to the Thesaurus, my
Yes,
go-to.
let's go to the Thesaurus.
Let's go to this Thesaurus, shall we?
Let's go to the
It's
Thesaurus.
not good. It's not good. So here's
Yeah.
here are some of the words in the Thesaurus online. Thesaurus.com, the online Thesaurus, right?
The online Thesaurus, yeah.
So I go there and I looked up synonyms for parent, and here's what I've got. I'm back to father, mother, which we know not everybody has. And then
Yeah.
it says ancestor. No, that would be the prior, whatever.
Prior generations, yeah.
Architect. I'm almost afraid to dive in why they would call this person an architect. Author. Oh, get this one. This was one of the best ones. Begetter.
The begetter?
Like biblical. We begot you.
Oh,
Begetter.
we begot you.
We begot you.
Oh, God.
Then there's creator, folks. Hi, folks. I mean, I feel like that's more casual.
Yeah.
Though folks is also, I read, folks
It's
is an acceptable way to non-gender your speech. So instead of saying, hello, ladies and gentlemen, you would say, hello, folks. But orally,
Yes.
that sounds way better than if I'm sitting there with an enrollment form. I'm not putting folks' name.
Right. But also, like, it's an older term for your parents. Like, oh, go ask your folks. Like,
That's
it's
true.
still,
That's
it
true.
still means like parents,
But to a young child, I'm not sure that that's the case.
No,
Or
to us, that's
to
what,
the people
like,
who are raising.
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Let's see. Fountainhead.
What?
Fountainhead comes up. Guardian is there. If you all are thinking, where's Guardian? Guardian is on the list, but it's not up top. Guardian, originator, progenitor, root, source, and wellspring, and procreator, of course.
Okay, yeah. But okay, those terms that you just listed, most of them still mean like the person that is in your life is the person who created you or
Yes.
gave birth to you, or you know what I mean? And not all the children have that person in their life.
Right.
So those are not good words.
Right.
Well, look up in the thesaurus a
Yes.
synonym for family.
Okay,
See
wait,
what
I'm looking.
happens.
Family.
Yeah.
You know, I went on a campaign. I was doing some subject matter expert work having to do with a professional development session that had been developed by someone outside of the organization that I was working with. And so we couldn't change it. And throughout this thing, it kept saying parents. And I went on a personal campaign about this. And the best that we could do, which I thought was pretty good, was to add for the people who are presenting this session to have a sentence to say that says, you will see that throughout this presentation, the word parents is used. By that, we mean anyone who's the most important people to their children. We're using it as a catch-all phrase. Like I said, we have to at least put some kind of disclaimer. And again, this I know roots from my personal experience in my family, that I'm hypersensitive to the words that we use around the people who are raising the children.
Yeah.
Okay, family, ready? We got folk again. But also clan.
Okay.
I don't know. Group, house, household, people, tribe. We could put, what's your tribe's names? Tribe, ancestors, ancestry. Wait, I'm going descendants. Yeah, that makes sense.
Descendants, yeah.
Dynasty, if only. Kindred, parentage, pedigree, and then we're down to like relations. It says relations, but again, then we're back to you have to be related to the person.
Yeah. Why can't
there's no good word? I'm putting out to the preschool peeps. There's no good existing word, I don't think.
Okay. For some things, why does there need to be a word? For like forms that you need to fill out at school, why can't the bottom just say authorized signature?
And name.
Name.
Why can't it say, why can't it say, now some adult is sitting and filling out this form.
Yeah.
Why can't it just say child's name, your name?
Yeah.
Other significant name, other adult's name, other adult's name.
Other adult's name.
Optional. Because not every child is raised by two adults either.
No. Yeah. Adult one.
Adult one.
Needed.
Adult number one.
Adult two.
Adult number
optional.
two. Okay.
Optional.
I'm liking adult number one.
Adult number
two.
Two.
Optional.
Yeah.
So that people don't feel like, oh, I gotta cross this out.
Well, right. I'm a single mom or a single parent or I'm a grandma. Like, no, adult one, adult two. That's it.
So that's good for the form. And then we have letters that go out and handbooks that go out.
Right.
So you don't want to say like dear adult number one. I just can't.
Okay, why not eliminate the title at all and just start out with something like hello? That's it.
I have to tell you, that's what I do when I'm writing emails back to people who write to me and I don't know how they want to be addressed. I just go, good morning, good afternoon, hello.
Good morning, good afternoon, or hi, hello. Yeah. Why does there have to be what's that called? A salutation? Is that what that is?
Because in typing class in the year of the flood, or in language arts in the year of the flood, they told us that there has to be a salutation. But nowadays with things such as like casual emails where you could just put hello on top, just put hello, comma, done. You've eliminated everything. You've now you don't even, there's no gender in there. There's no whatever. It goes to everyone. There you go. You don't need any of that. Okay, so I'm gonna ask the preschool peeps to campaign with me that these words get changed to adult on forms. And we can get rid of the dear parent, dear family, dear parent guardian. We can just be like, hello, hi there. And then I mean, I'm thinking where else we use it. The handbook, we can just put that it's the school's handbook. We don't need to, you can have a staff handbook and then the general handbook.
Just the handbook.
And where else do we see this? Where else do we see these words? The resources words, like family resources. It can just be resources, adults, resource. Where, Allison? What were you going to say?
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, because it's big. It might be too big to talk about. These Mother's Day, Father's Day events.
Okay, that's really big.
I know. It's a big one. Because here you are, it's Mother's Day, and every school has the children make something for their mother or their father. Okay. But it's like, what if the child doesn't have that?
Well, then experience tells me that what we do is they say to the child to make it for their grandparent or their babysitter or their.
But that article really made it seem like there's some kids that are coming here that do not have families. They could be coming from orphanages. Who are they making their thing for? And
Are there still orphanages, or are they in
There's-
foster care?
There's an orphanage by my house.
Is there really?
Yeah. Yeah. That's the only reason why. Otherwise I would stop using that term, but there's one in the town next to me. Yeah.
Why did I think that they now just go through a foster care system and that there are no orphans?
I don't know. I thought that too, but then like there's still one there and it's still operating. Yeah. So I guess like if there's not enough
What is it called? Like something orphanage?
No.
Or is it like home for children?
No, they actually call it a village. So like when you drive, I think it's called.
You don't have to say the name on the podcast.
I don't know the name, but it's something
village.
A home for children. I think.
So I now want to get in my car and go to this village and take a child home.
I know.
Wow.
I know. So when I went to high school, there were children from that village that would come to school with us. But yeah, so
I lead a very sheltered life that I didn't know that these were still in existence, that I thought that children pretty much go to the Department of Children and Families and then foster families.
Maybe it's a kind of like a landing spot. Like they
it may be before they get placed
there,
somewhere, but that would be an orphanage, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe the wording
then they
is
get placed.
not
I don't
used.
think they're.
Oh my gosh, I hope the wording is not used anymore.
Yeah, I don't think they're living there like you think back in the day they just live there until they're 18 and then they're out.
Like Annie. I was just watching Annie live a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, like that. I don't think it's like that. I think maybe it's a landing spot, but like there's still children who are going to school from that place. So
wow.
Yeah. So when you have this Mother's Day, Father's Day event, or even this Mother's Day, Father's Day project thing, that the gift that you're sending home, think about that child who you just made him or her create something and they have nobody to give it to. So the entire time that they're creating this thing, you're just bringing back memories of things that they don't have.
That's really unfortunate.
So then it gets me like,
that's sad.
Do we need to do those gifts and events? Okay. Like it's always Mother's Day tea, donuts with dad, those cut muffins with mom. Should we eliminate those events for multiple reasons?
Allison, you have opened a big giant can of stuff.
I know. Because there's also the parents who can't make it to those events. Like there is a mom in their life, but their mom has to work and
that's
they can't
correct.
Get to the event. And then you have a child who's upset all day because everybody else has came in.
I wonder how these things that are really kind of greeting card holidays, how did these seep their way into education? That's what I'm wondering now.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Like, is there a need, like, to have these events and to make these gifts in our education system? Like, if those children go home and they celebrate that holiday of Mother's Day, Father's Day with their family, then good for them. Let them do it. Same thing as if you celebrated Hanukkah or Christmas. Good for it. Go ahead, go do it. But we're not focusing an entire week on it in school. We should, like, why are we? Same thing. Valentine's Day is the same thing. You know, like, why are we? Why?
I think the question is why. How did this seep itself into educational systems? We want to partner with families, but that's not partnering with families. You know, partnering with families has to do with involving them in their children's education, not making crafts to send home. So if you're thinking, oh, but that's how we partner with families to show respect for families. No, you show respect for families by including them in their children's early childhood experience and education. That's a whole different thing than let's all make a craft and send it home.
Right. But you go to school and try to suggest eliminating the craft for Mother's Day.
I'll tell you what,
I have done that and it's not pretty.
I'm a change person when I go into schools, and I'm often talking to them about cultural awareness, around holidays and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I am afraid to approach the Mother's Day, Father's Day conversation as if they'll treat me like I'm trying to kill childhood. I'm not trying to kill
thank
childhood.
you. I've been there. Yes. And other teachers look at you like you are nuts, but there's really valid reasons for not doing these projects and these gifts and these whatever.
If you look at it from the child's perspective, yes.
Yeah.
And I'll bet you with the number of people who listen to this podcast, that if we said preschool peeps, have you ever felt left out of that sort of thing in your lifetime? Or did you have a childhood where these sorts of activities and words didn't include you? People are writing to us that was the case for them, and how they felt like they didn't fully belong, and how terrible it was, and how it made them feel. You have to look at it from the viewpoint of the fact that children can come from all different places, all different backgrounds, and they have a perception of what we're doing. Yeah. And it either makes them feel like they belong or like they don't belong. I also want to put out to the preschool peeps, though, if we're going to put things out there, I want to put out to the preschool peeps, if you have a better way than saying like adult,
please let us know, because I'm interested. Yeah.
Please go to howpreschoolteachersdoit.com. You don't have to become a logged in member of the community to write to us. The contact form's right there on the home page if you want to write to us. So you don't have to log in to do that, but I want you to log in to do that because
it's awesome.
We learned
there's so many good things there.
When we set it up, we did not know, but then later discovered that when we post a blog article, for example, in that section, you get an email that says, How Preschool Teachers Do It has a new blog article. So you even know when to go look at our website.
Yeah. And I think even like when it emailed me, I could like just click the link right there and then sign in from my phone. So like if you're like on your lunch or something, you want something to read and that email pops up, you're like, oh, look, I'm reading Cindy's blog now. This is awesome. That's what I do during lunch. Ta-da. Ta-da. There it is. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So if you have ideas around the use of these words, if you have an experience around the use of these words or a better word, please do contact us. We will share it with the listeners.
Yeah. And you can be part of our little feedback 5 too, maybe.
Maybe.
So many cool things that you could be a part of in this podcast.
We're for the people. Try. We're for the people. We are the people. We're for the people.
We are the people and we're for the people.
And we know the people are struggling.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's why we needed a community. That's why we formed the community, so we could be here for each other, because now you can network not just with us, but with others too.
And let's face it, networking on social media is dicey at best. So we're providing you with a positive place that has the blog comments, if they are political, will be taken out. If they are offensive in any way, will be taken out. You'll see when you get into the blog area that there is a community guide for what will and will not be allowed to be posted, because we want to keep it a positive, uplifting, non-political space.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. As best we can.
As best we can. Yeah.
Okay, preschool peeps. Go think about that wording on all your stuff, and we will catch you next time on the podcast.
Bye, peeps.